Well, I blew everything up. Hello everybody and welcome back. There's a lot has happened since you were last here, most notably being this. Good friend Main Lane went ahead and built pretty much this whole thing while I was chopping trees somewhere. So he's a much better builder than I am. Put up all these chests, moved all of our stuff. He did a whole bunch of mining still, to the point where he's got this thing full, but he doesn't want me to touch it because he's gonna go industrial craft with it. He really likes maximum efficiency, so if he doesn't have a macerator made, no smelting. So, what I wanted to do though, is I wanted to get started with Witchery. As you probably noticed, I have all these plants here from the Witchery mod growing up. Now, what you need to get started is two things. Witchery mod has been updated since I last used it, so forgive me if I'm a little bit confused. You need the regular vanilla cauldron. Then you need to right-click on it with this anointing paste, which you just get by combining one of each of the 4 seeds of the plants that you saw me having up there. So you just take that, right-click it, and it does this. Now, you need to have a fire underneath it, which is what this space is for. And to prepare for that, I built us a nether portal over there. Now, I know you usually need diamonds, but we don't have enough. We only have the 2 that I got from the bag earlier. So I used this bucket and this tank, both of these tanks, and I built a mold out of dirt, and I did all that stuff with lava. Is it the old-fashioned way? I don't know if I'd call it that. But anyway, we're just going to pop in there and grab some netherrack. It'll be nice to explore, but we're not going to do that just yet. Although if I see a blaze nearby, I'll try to grab him. Get a blaze rod for some brewing, but I don't plan to start that yet. Oh, I also built these backpacks. Hunter's backpack automatically collects mob drops. The Forester's backpack collects plants and whatnot. And this one doesn't collect anything, but I can put anything in it. These ones here will only take the items that they collect. So, one other thing, built this, I called it the spine chopper just because it's made out of bones. I built that with Thaumcraft, what's it called? Tinker's Construct. I stole the Tinker's Construct supplies from the village that we saw in the first video, and brought it over and built this axe. Now, just hoping we don't die. I always get freaked out, as you probably noticed from my panicking in the last video. I'm not very calm. Okay. We just need some netherrack. Shit. I heard an explosion. Oh, this actually was really cool. Maybe a little bit weird that vegetation can grow, but things like the bones and the clouds and the flesh, gross. Yeah. It's not a bad spot though. Nice open, but not too exposed that it's full of ghasts. I'll grab a few of these. Maybe some of these in case we want to get started with applied energetics, which I'd like to do soon. It's super easy to store supplies with that mod. Well, not super easy, I shouldn't say that. It works really, really well, but it takes a bit to get started and costs energy to be on, so. There we are. It's not much, but it should do for a couple of basic things. And maybe some more netherrack, just to be sure. Alright. So, for those of you unfamiliar with witchcraft, the first thing you need to do, typically, is get the variety of plants. The Witchery mod is heavily uses plant ingredients, like a witch with the cauldron and all that. So, let's see. You start with these 4 plants. You can get the seeds for these just by breaking. Oh, 5, I guess. They added garlic. You can get these by just breaking tall grass, and they have a chance to drop, like that one just did. Except it went in the forestry bag. See? Belladonna seeds. So that's one of them. But the rest of the plants you have to get with something called Mutandis. Now, Mutandis simply mutates a plant when you right-click on it into some other random plant. Now, the reason I have this way out here is to stay away from, I don't want the building to catch fire. So, actually, let's look this up. So you need this Mutandis here, which you need to throw these ingredients into that cauldron there. Now this one here, exhale the horned one, we have to get with the witch's oven, which, if is right here. That's a witch's cauldron. That's the one. That one uses a bit of iron. Don't tell Lane I'm using his iron. He's a little bit possessive. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the bars, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the rest of it. Yeah. You see how tight things are around here. You only smelt what you need and nothing else. Let's throw these in there for now. Won't be needing them. It's hard to tell exactly where things should go with these categories. So while that is going, we also need clay jars. So you need to burn oak saplings in the witch's oven, and you get something called wood ash, which you can use for a few things in Witchery, but you also have a chance of getting this as a byproduct, exhale of the horned one, which you need. There's a lot of ingredients that can be collected with this way, depending on the type of saplings you're burning. So we need these clay jars, which you just make like so. And I collected a bunch of clay earlier for this Tinker's Construct thing. So it should be, there we go. I'll just use one stack. I'm not going to use most of these today, but I know I'm going to use them eventually, so I might as well. Let's just throw those all in there. Apparently I didn't need that. Really wish I didn't have to make all 16 iron bars when I only need 2. Nighttime is falling. So, yeah, main lane's not on right now. He's, busy, I guess. But that's fine. Grab one of these. Need some more. I think I actually saw a couple in here. Yeah, let's grab those. So, we just go ahead and make our witch's oven. Now, you can actually add... oops. That door should have made a sound. Now you can add extra items to the witch's oven on the sides, and I think the top, which increase the chances of getting the fumes that you want, but it costs quite a bit of iron to make, and if you want the higher quality ones, it takes even diamonds, which we don't have enough of. So we're just going to start with the basics. Need oak saplings. And let's grab some more of these jars if they have them. And coal. Okay. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well grab the other ingredients I'm going to need, which is eggs and my witchery chest. Oop, let's not run over these things. Also going to need water. And the easiest way is just infinite water right next to it. So, let's throw these in here. Maybe not so many. I don't want to run out of clay jars, because then you have no chance of getting that. That's a waste of saplings. Let's get another bucket for my infinite water. I just made these backpacks, so I'm not used to using them yet, and I keep wondering where my items go. There we are. And we have 1 and 2. Let's not waste any more coal. Okay. So the reason it's nice to have infinite water is because it actually takes 3 buckets full to fill this thing. I believe just like the vanilla cauldron, and it should start bubbling. Yeah, there we go. So it needs the heat underneath, otherwise the water won't boil and it won't work. But if you lose the heat Like if you're doing this with wood and the fire goes out, you can just relight it and carry on where you left off. There's another, there's like a kettle in Witchery that you end up using later on, and if the fire goes out during that one, then the whole potion is ruined and you have to start over. So, but that's not the case here. Now, I believe you have to actually throw it in that specific order. Mandrake root, exhale the horned one, and egg. Gotcha. So that, that, that. And then it should start swirling. Crazy magic. I'm not too familiar with the cauldron. This is one of the newer things actually. You used to just craft Mutandis in the crafting table. Here we go. Now before I start, I'm probably going to need way more than 6. There's quite a few plants that you can get, and it is completely random, so it sometimes takes a while. But I came here to get something, and I don't remember what it was. What was I doing? Oh, right. Some of the plants that you have a chance of getting from Witchery can only be harvested with shears. I think there's 2 of them? Yeah. So, just go ahead. Dark oak sapling, nope. Fern, nope. Here we go. This one here is one of the ones that needs shears. That one's actually kind of cool. If you step on it, it sets you on fire. I mean, not cool for you, but cool to set other people on fire, I guess. Hawthorn, here we go. This is also one of the Witchery ones. Witchery has 3 unique trees. Okay, and we're out of stuff already. Yeah, we're probably going to need more of this. Throw that back in there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start bubbling. There we go. The one downside of the new cauldron is that you have to wait for it. You used to just be able to craft a whole stack of this stuff in a second if you had all the ingredients. Let's just make more right away. I'm pretty sure that another 6 isn't going to get me all the things I need. The most important one that I want right now is called the Rowan sapling. You need that one to make the altar, which is the basis of, what do they call it? Circle magic, which is my favorite part of this mod. So while that's spinning up, birch sapling, lily pads. Go. So you could just right click on the same plant over and over, but there we go. There's the other one, other sapling. But I find it's a convenient way to collect some plants that you might otherwise have to cross the world for. Here we go. This is the other one that needs shears. Spanish moss. This one here is useful for voodoo poppets. It's all in here, isn't it? Yeah. Uses. Poppets. These are used in a whole bunch of these. Most of them are defensive. They protect you from certain things. If you were going to, say, the earth protection poppet, if you were going to die from fall damage, instead of you dying, the poppet dies. Of course, it only works once, but it's a good safety net. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a Rowan sapling. Oh, another one of these. Nope. Let's not lose that one. Stupid mushrooms. Now they're just taunting me. Shouldn't have said anything to upset them. Okay. So it's not very exciting. If you get lucky, you can get all the stuff you need right away. What happened if I accidentally throw my backpack in there? That would suck. Let's go. I don't really need those right now. Blanked for a second, forgot which ingredients I needed to throw. There we go, Rowan sapling. I think we're still missing one called glintweed, I think. Let's just go here. There's a lot of items in this mod, but not Not all of the plants that you see can be got through this. Some of these, like the critter snare, you have to make these ones more specifically. But yeah, this one here I know you can get from. I'm not sure what it's used for, though. Probably an ingredient for potions of some kind. So. Ah, there it is. So I still have a little bit of Mutandis left. I'm going to save that because you do end up using it for other things, like this apple. There's something called the spirit dimension, which you can only get to by sleeping, but you can have a good dream or a bad dream. Using that apple guarantees a nightmare, which you might want, but you usually don't. This is a pretty huge mod for those of you who haven't used it. But that should be enough for those plants. I just need to get them growing. So saplings are pretty straightforward. You plant them and they grow. I'm surprised I didn't get any duplicates of these. That's interesting. So let's just throw these up here. Make sure they have lots of space so I get more saplings from them. Yeah, once you get one of each plant, it's pretty easy to just grow them all normally. You don't really have to do this besides at the very beginning. Glintweed and ember moss, they just spread randomly. So you just place one down somewhere, usually somewhere that's open. So somewhere like here. I know Lane's planning on building in here soon, but I hope he won't mind. So yeah, they'll just spread. I hope he also doesn't step on them. And then Spanish moss is the last one. That one there grows just like vines, just hanging off of something. I believe it grows slightly faster on trees. So we'll just, and it'll just grow down. You can continuously harvest it with the shears. And there we go. Now I guess we wait for those to grow. I moved all the books that I've come across. Found another Thaumonomicon in the village. But these Witchery ones. This one here. Yeah. It has a little bit about each of the plants in here. Spanish moss. Grows best on trees. So I don't know if that means it grows faster or... There's a couple of these interesting ones. Most of these, you have to mutate them in a more specific kind of ritual almost. I haven't seen any wolfsbane yet, although the only thing I know it's used for is detecting and making potions against werewolves, which... As far as I know, there are none in here yet. I don't think Lane is going to secretly turn into a werewolf, they're telling me. So yeah, that's the beginning of Witchery. I do want to get into Mistcraft and start looking at some parallel dimensions, but that's a little bit, probably not too far away, but I want to get started with the Witchery stuff first. So yeah, that's all we're at right now. I'll come back sometime later when I have some more of these plants and we'll get into some of the more really cool stuff. If you guys haven't seen Witchery before, it's a really awesome mod, and it doesn't just give you spells that you shoot out of your fingertips. It's like careful rituals that have very powerful effects, but you have to plan out what you're doing, so it's not just a click to win button. It's very, very fun to use. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So this just happened. When you chop down the trees from the Witchery mod, there's a small chance that it spawns an Ent who comes to kill you. I just chopped one down right here, and he spawned in that tree where he's suffocating to death very, very slowly. It seems he has a lot of health. So yeah, that's a little something to watch out for. I thought I'd just show you guys him being stuck in there. He has the chance to drop an Ent twig, which is used for a couple of things, mostly as a magic stick, I guess. This guy's a lot of health. I'm afraid to get close to him because if he comes out, I don't think I'm equipped to actually fight him right now. I know you do more damage to them with I think you do more damage to them with an axe, but mine does 0, so... There he goes. and an end twig. There we are. Those you can hear that. This is the source of lava I was using for my nether portal and the Tinker's Construct there. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that Ent drops this Ent twig, used for a couple of things. Symbology book. It's a bit more of the advanced stuff. You can turn it into a sort of wand, I guess. It's I'll get into that later on, but yeah, there you have it. Okay, so I've been doing quite a bit, as you can see with all these plants, mostly just growing all the Witchery stuff. I went ahead and made, whoops, not this book, this one, the Circle Magic book, which is my favorite part of Witchery. It's just this, get the whiff of magic by putting the rowan sapling in the witch's oven there. And then based on, wrong book, based on this page here, these are the different sizes of circles you'll need to do all these 89 different rituals in here. So I went ahead and made this. All the different sizes of rituals are marked out on the ground, so it's easier when I want to draw the chalk in. And then I put this grove around it, partially just because of the aesthetic, and partially because it powers the altar. This altar here, go. Once you get a couple ingredients, it's just these two different saplings you need to cook, and then get some logs. It makes 3 of them. You need 6. As soon as you place the last one down, then it automatically puts the red cloth on top and completes the structure. Now, the base power that it has, which you can see by right-clicking it here, is increased by having different plants nearby. But it's much better, much stronger if there's more variety, which is why these trees are all different. I'm also planning on growing some crops around here, and I believe it's in a radius around it, so I'm actually thinking about tunneling underneath it and just planting a whole bunch of crops. But you can also add things for modifiers. You can see it's 1347, and it's getting 10 energy per second. So if I put this on, though, now it's getting 20 energy per second, and it's twice as much base power. So you can add upgrade items to it to increase them. Wither skulls will do better. A player skull is even better than that. But you can only have like one type of skull. You can get a torch, which increases the recharge rate a little bit. You can get a whole bunch of different items. They're listed on the page, the wiki page for this mod. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys I got this. And this distillery here, which I've been using to get a couple of ingredients, including this one here, which I'll need for something right away. The reason it's over here is because a lot of these from Witchery draw power from the altar. So I'll actually end up moving the cauldron over there as well. Some things it uses make power, but because of the fire, I don't want it too close to the trees, otherwise I'll burn that whole thing down. I might end up making a second altar, we'll see. But I wanted to... I got these here. I wanted to make some chalk and just draw out a basic Witchery circle. So to make these, I should have a crafting table over here by now. Let's see if I can do it this way. This mod, I don't even know which mod adds this in here, but you can sort of craft things on the ground. There we go. And then, whoops. Did it work? It did. So now I have this ritual chalk. So you can see here, I'm trying to think, what's a good... There's a couple of different rituals here. I probably won't end up doing a ritual just yet because I don't have a lot of the ingredients that you'll need for these. But this one here is a good one to start. Use that for a lot of ones. You just right click on the ground. It uses a little bit of durability, but you can write quite a few symbols with these. There we go. Now the center one has to be golden chalk. You can see here. You also might have noticed there's 3 different colors. So something like summoning a demon. See, this one here is red. That's the infernal chalk here, which uses a couple things from the nether. You're just modifying the base chalk. Now this one here, we do need a golden chalk because the centerpiece has to be a golden one. It's the only use for gold chalk. So just go ahead, get some of that. We should set up an ME network that connects everything so I don't have to run around. And then I will need... put that away. Whoops. Yeah, you can see you killed a few more Ents. They all showed up while I was chopping down all those trees. And one of those. Actually... yeah, we don't really have anything. I'd really like to show you one, but just don't have enough of the ingredients just yet. I'm not actually sure if this requires energy or not. I'm just going to go ahead and hope it doesn't. Uh-oh. Looks like it does. Luckily, all these glintweeds here around should probably give it enough energy. I think it's 14 blocks away, so just put this on. I don't think I'll need it. Is it working? No, I think I screwed it up. You saw the swirls from before when I was making Mutandis. I'm pretty sure that's what's supposed to happen. Oops. Okay, let's try this again. I moved everything closer. The range on that's supposed to be 14 meters, and this is 12 away according to that, so this should work. And I made a little bit more chalk because the first one I threw in there did nothing. What? Something's not right. Okay, there it goes. So it turns out... what? Slowness. It turns out it just didn't have enough power. I ended up making this book here, which sort of explains how to go through all these things. Under crafting, and then golden chalk. It has the ingredients here, but it doesn't say anything about how much power. So I googled it, and somebody said it was 2800 power, and my altar was only at 2700. So I planted a few more plants, and then it just instantly finished. This is the same ingredients you guys saw me put in last time. I just left it there the whole time. So there we go. It would be nice if it would tell you how much power it is. There it goes. There's the centerpiece. If you go, all the circle magic ones are really good at telling you how much power you need to do these, so I'm surprised this one doesn't. Also, it appears there's a chance of side effects. I remember reading about that briefly, but I didn't look into it too much, although you can reduce the chance. You can also draw a slightly different shape of circle around the cauldron to lower power costs and increase the strength of different rituals. You can, yeah, that can be the center of some pretty interesting rituals. But the point here is this. Got the golden chalk. So now if I wanted to throw something like a teleport to a waystone, that's a different color. But all I'd have to do is just throw the ingredients in just like this, if it was those two, and then right click on the thing. But it says it's an unknown right because a cooked potato isn't an ingredient, or isn't a ritual on its own. So there we go. Yeah. Later on, I will go into some more of the advanced witchery stuff, but I feel like I need to get some infrastructure built up, which is boring to watch. So, until then, I'll see you guys later.